host, Christene Marie. It is a beautiful day, January 23rd, and we are going through A Course in Miracles, the 23rd lesson given the day. So I'm going to just jump right in. Feel free to leave questions, comments here in the chat. We're live. And I'm going to go ahead and get started. We're going to do a quick review of lessons preceding this one, just because so many of the lessons build on top of each other. So I am going to start actually with lesson 1 and go from there. Lesson 1, nothing I see in this room means anything. Lesson 2, I have given everything I see in this room all of the meaning that it has for me. Lesson 3, I do not understand anything I see in this room. Lesson 4, these thoughts do not mean anything. They are like the things I see in this room. Lesson 5, I am never upset for the reason I think. Lesson 6, I am upset because I see something that is not there. Lesson 7, I see only the past. Lesson 8, my mind is preoccupied with past thoughts. Lesson 9, I see nothing as it is now. Lesson 10, my thoughts do not mean anything. Lesson 11, my meaningless thoughts are showing me a meaningless world. Lesson 12, I am upset because I see a meaningless world. Lesson 13, a meaningless world engenders fear. Lesson 14, God did not create a meaningless world. Lesson 15, my thoughts are images that I have made. Lesson 16, I have no neutral thoughts. Lesson 17, I see no neutral things. Lesson 18, I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my seeing. Lesson 19, I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my thoughts. Lesson 20, I am determined to see. Lesson 21, I am determined to see things differently. Lesson 22, what I see is a form of vengeance. And finally, lesson 23, I can escape from the world I see by giving up attack thoughts. The idea for today contains the only way out of fear that will ever succeed. Nothing else will work. Everything else is meaningless. But this way cannot fail. Every thought you have makes up some segment of the world you see. It is with your thoughts, then, that we must work if your perception of the world is ever to be changed. If the cause of the world you see is attack thoughts, you must learn that it is these thoughts which you do not want. There is no point in lamenting the world. There is no point in trying to change the world. It is incapable of change because it is merely an effect. But there is indeed a point in changing your thoughts about the world. Here you are changing the cause. The effect will change automatically. The world you see is a vengeful world, and everything in it is a symbol of vengeance. Even your perceptions of external reality is a pictorial representation of your own attack thoughts. One can well ask if this can be called seeing. Is not fantasy a better word for such a process, and hallucination a more appropriate term for the result? You see the world that you have made, but you do not see yourself as the image maker. You cannot be saved from the world, but you can escape from its cause. This is what salvation means. For where is the world you see when its cause is gone? Vision already holds a replacement for everything you think you see now. Loveliness can light your images and so transform them that you will love them, even though they were made from hate, for you will not be making them alone. The idea for today introduces the thought that you are not trapped in the world you see because its cause can be changed. This change requires first that the cause be identified and then let go so that it can be replaced. The first 2 steps in this process require your cooperation. The final one does not. Your images have already been replaced. By taking the first 2 steps, you will see that this is so. Besides using it throughout the day as the need arises, 5 practice periods are required in applying today's idea. As you look about you, repeat the idea slowly to yourself, and then close your eyes and devote about a minute to searching your mind for as many attack thoughts as occur to you. As each one crosses your mind, say, I can escape from the world I see by giving up attack thoughts about blank. Hold each attack thought in mind as you say this, and then dismiss that thought and go on to the next. In the practice periods, be sure to include both your thoughts of attacking and of being attacked. Their effects are exactly the same because they are exactly the same. You do not recognize this as yet, and you are asked at this time only to treat them as the same in today's practice period. We are still at the stage of identifying the cause of the world you see. When you finally learn that thoughts of attack and of being attacked are not different, you will be ready to let them go. Wow, y'all. Today's lesson, it has to be probably one of the most impactful. I'm actually going to read this again because this is so important, and the reality of cause and effect, that the effect of what we're experiencing and seeing the world is by our own cause and by our own design. One, it takes all of our power back. We realize how much power we have in choice, in choosing what we cause to be the reality that we see. It's like we've been talking about, putting up your eyes to the dials, and like you would in an optometrist, and then they adjust the dials, and then the world you see changes. We have the power to adjust our own dials. And that truly is. I was on a call the other day with a gentleman who's authored 14 books. He's got ownership in, I think, 61 companies. And he said this. He was like, we are more powerful than we realize. And that is so true. It's so much. The world we see is so much by our own design, by our own intention. So then the question is, what is my intention? What am I actually projecting out that I'm seeing and experiencing? So before I dive back into the lesson, I just wanted to check in on the chat and say good morning to friends joining me, Neowaz and Nare. Good to see you. To Zilla Capone, thank you so much for joining. Darren, thank you. Shri John, good to see you. Surgeon, Raylene, kids are totally allowed. We talk about good things here. Maybe just ask your parents. I don't know what your house rules are, but otherwise, Terrence Wilson, good to see you. I think this is Snaky. Thank you for joining, Terrence. Kate Miller, Adele, Gun M1 Tank, Tizilla, Marin, Kuber, Snaky FP, hello. God over us all. Kissy, Bread Pitbull, just saying hey. Very Dark Jason, T Bird, K to C, Kissy, T Bird, Franchosa. Thank you for joining. Billy, thank you so much. You guys are making my morning. I'm excited. This conversation this morning is really, really important because it puts us in the driver's seat of our life. And especially when we're seeking to have the vision that we see the world be the vision that is God's vision. Last night I was talking to my partner, and I said, I want to just really focus on seeing other people as God sees them. And I actually prayed that last night, because when we're coming from a position of love, there's no fear. Love casts out fear. And so much of the time, we're actually viewing the world and viewing other people from a position of fear, where we're actually giving them more power than they should. And so when we ask for the lens of God and ask for that vision to be ours, all of a sudden it's like we transcend this lowly place of fear, and we kind of rise up. There's to the point that she actually makes about, have the awareness of the attack thoughts, both of attacking and being attacked, and then let go. The book Letting Go by David Hawkins talks about this element of emotions being akin to numerical value. So shame is level 50. And as you go up in kind of heightened emotions, the level increases in terms of numerical value. So shame is 50. I think pride is 150 and courage is 200. When we start moving up to adopt the lens of God and we're moving out of fear, we also are leveling up emotionally to the level of courage and to the level of peace and love, where we're able to engage with other people, where we see them so much more clearly, and we're looking at them and wondering their story, and we're wondering, what makes them who they are and what's their purpose and calling in life. This has actually been a really good practice for me, like literally practicing this, because I will get some really, really mean comments here in the chat. And sometimes I'll get really nice ones, but sometimes they're really, really mean. And I have to look at the chat and look at the person and their picture and just remember, like, we're just the same. We're both children of God, and we both have souls and spirits, and we all have experience in life. And someone even said, like, maybe when someone's being unkind, that it's a cry for love. And so it's been a good challenge. Like, am I going to look at the world through my lens that's colored by the past, that's impacted so often by fear, attack thoughts, and the thoughts of being attacked? Remember, she said that they're pretty much the same. And can I let them go and instead choose the lens of the way God sees people, which is through the lens of love? And so every single day, every single moment, we have the opportunity to do that. Lesson 16 in the Course in Miracles says, I have no neutral thoughts. And our thoughts are the things that project out into the world. So am I choosing life-giving thoughts, or am I choosing thoughts that are discouraging and bringing me down, or even depressing? Am I choosing to dwell on things that I actually don't like? So there's this concept that frankly made probably one of the biggest impacts in my life. It says, where you place your attention is where you place your energy. So if I want to have a better energy where I feel like happy and excited, or even just like I'm motivated and focused, I need to be putting my attention on things that will allow for me to get to that point. And so I know for me what's life-giving. And that would be a question I have for you all today as we move away. We're wrapping up here in a few minutes. What's life-giving for you to think about? What's life-giving for you to do? Who is life-giving? And that's a really important one too, because how much of the time are we actually being around people that really kind of suck the life out of us? How often are we sitting here doom scrolling, and it's like our battery pack and our energy is draining because we're comparing? Comparison is the thief of joy. And so are we actually intentionally pursuing that which brings us life? Or are we mindless in the way that we're experiencing the world, and thus the way that we're seeing the world? So just jumping back here in the chat, Gun M1 Tank, good to see you, Male Dancer, Jesse Johnster. Good morning from Chicago. Good morning. I'm sorry, you did the freezing emoji face. I can only imagine how cold it is there. We're supposed to get so much snow on the East Coast. I'm actually flying out today, so I'm escaping. Roman King, good morning. Samuel Romaine, good morning. Thank you for joining, Scotty. K to the C, Gun M1 Tank, thank you. I love that. Be respectful. Thank you. This must be AI. No, I am real. K to the C. No, I'm not married yet. Hopefully soon. We'll see. Well, actually, you know what? Not hopefully soon. I'm actually really enjoying this period of time. I feel really peaceful about timing. So when I say hopefully soon, no, at the right time, I'm sure. Maxi Z, no, we don't talk about that here. XJ5, good to see you, Max. Chris, sometimes I wonder about some of those people having a soul. It's I know what you mean, and man, it's wild. I feel like, so what was it? Lesson 20. I'm pulling up our lesson list again because I think it was 2 days ago. Yeah, lesson 20 and lesson 21, it says, I'm determined to see differently. And as I've thought about, one of the exercises we were supposed to do with both of those lessons were to like close our eyes and like think about what made us mad, and then say the phrase, I'm determined to see things differently. And every single time I felt like all of a sudden it was like I was in a third party position. And all of a sudden it was just like perspective. Not that I know why they're saying the things that they are, but it just was like, oh, by way of saying I'm determined to see things differently, I am effectively self admitting that I don't see it clearly now. And immediately that positions me to be more open and more curious. And lesson 21 was actually really formative for me in that day. And one of the things that's cool about these lessons is that we're supposed to be repeating them throughout the day, and it really solidifies in our mind and heart and soul. So um, I'm going to revisit this lesson 23. I just want to read through the intro one more time, and then I do need to jump off because I am flying today. And actually, I am going to be on later tonight than I normally am for the Knowing Show. For those of you who know me, I come on most every night, and we do a longer show. And I'm just checking my calendar. I will likely be on tonight, probably like 10:30 p.m. Eastern. So I'll be back on then. Lesson 23, I can escape from the world I see by giving up, and then insert blank the attack thought as we do these practice periods today. So just revisiting the opening, because this is so good and so impactful. So I would, even if you all are up for it, I'll read this, and if you want to just close your eyes and listen, because what she says here is so profound. And y'all, if we can realize the power of our thoughts and realize that we have the power of choice to choose what we think about, to choose the way we see the world, our lives can literally change. So the idea for today contains the only way out of fear that will ever succeed. Nothing else will work. Everything else is meaningless. But this way cannot fail. Every thought you have makes up some segment of the world you see. It is with your thoughts, then, that we must work, if your perception of the world is to be changed. If the cause of the world you see is attack thoughts, you must learn that it is these thoughts which you do not want. There is no point in lamenting the world. There is no point in trying to change the world. It is incapable of change because it is merely an effect. But there is indeed a point in changing your thoughts about the world. Here, you are changing the cause. The effect will automatically change. So with that, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I hope I can see you tonight on the Knowing Show, 10:30 p.m. Eastern. And I put this here in the chat, but I'm actually going to link it here as well. If you all have topics that you'd like for me to cover on the Knowing Show, and if you'd ever like to meet up in person or virtually for any events, go ahead and fill out the form here, and then I will be planning out over the next couple of weeks, just different concepts and conversations based on what you put in here. So in the meantime, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Delore and Dupe Church, good to see you. Jojo. Um, mm, K to the C. That's a really, really interesting concept. I think that could warrant a whole conversation there. Johnster, thank you. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Gun Team Tank, thank you so much for joining. I will see you all tonight around 10:30 p.m. to 11, around that time frame. But in the meantime, have a wonderful day. As a reminder, today's lesson, I can escape from the world I see by giving up